And Nayyera, you know, as somebody who has spoken for the State Department, I mean, talk a little bit about this. You have now Jim Comey, his testimony imminent. We found out late on Friday that he will testify before the public hearings. He declined an invitation to do so before the Judiciary Committee in private. So our European allies obviously know that, Nayyera. And on the plane with Donald Trump are some of the people who have helped to build this kind of circus atmosphere, the Steve Bannons of the world, Jared Kushner, who is the president's son-in-law, who's got his own issues with whether he filed his foreign intelligence or his foreign, paperwork for basically being an agent of foreign clients. Stephen Miller, who had a lot to do with the Muslim ban. He's bringing that circus with him overseas. If you were still at the State Department, how would you deal with that?
It's a very, very challenging trip that they're embarking on, particularly for the first trip. I mean, a first trip is traditionally to an easy allied country where the security on your side and security on their side have a history of coordinating with each other, and you have the ability to make things work. And you don't try to throw yourself several logistical hurdles like trying to visit the old city in Jerusalem, which is historically and for thousands of years a very contentious, insecure environment. So there's security challenges all throughout this trip. There are political challenges trying to go from Saudi to the Vatican to Israel, all places where words really matter. Every word you say has thousands of years of history of implication behind it. And now we have a president who doesn't really view teleprompter or reading from a script as a priority. So there's the challenges logistically, but then the circus that you mentioned, it is a lot of people from the West Wing to be going on this trip. And what that indicates to folks who have done these trips before is there's not a lot of trust between the inner circle, because generally when you have somebody on the plane, they're communicating back to D.C. and communicating ahead to your team on the ground. There's not a lot of trust if all of them feel like they need to be around the principal at all times. So exactly the kind of chaotic decision-making that we're seeing here in D.C. is now going to be amplified on the world stage.